Naming conventions. There are upper, lower, and capital. That's for the average audience. But we programmers have to use things differently. That's why we created about 1 million different conventions to write code mentioned in this video. It's important to note that in most programming languages, variable names are case sensitive, which means this variable name and this variable name will be treated as two separate variables. All lowercase. This type of naming convention comes from the early days of programming when memory was extremely limited and every byte mattered. In C, which is considered as the grandfather of all programming languages, all keywords are written in lowercase, so it made sense to write all variable names, function names, and other identifiers in lowercase as well. All uppercase. Now let's talk about the screaming case. This case is mostly used to represent constants in any language. By convention, constants are typically written in all uppercase to help the programmer identify which values can be changed and which cannot be changed. It's also referred to as screaming caps, probably because it's like text equivalent of someone screaming at you. So if you want to make a constant in your code, you can go ahead and scream it out in all caps. Don't blame me for that joke, blame ChatGPT. Pascal case. Pascal case is a popular convention used in languages like Java and Pascal, hence the name, where we capitalize the first letter of each word in the name without using spaces in between. This convention is commonly used for naming classes in Java and for certain constructs in Pascal. From this article, History Around Pascal Casing and Camel Casing, which I will link in the description, published by Microsoft, they apparently had hours of meetings just to name this style of writing by Anders Heilsberg. Sorry if I butchered that name. I still prefer the name Pedro case. Get it? Because of Pedro Pascal. Camel case. If you are a JavaScript developer, you are probably familiar with camel case. In camel case, the first letter of the first word is in lowercase, while the first letter of each subsequent word is in uppercase. For example, first name or total number of items. The reason why it's called camel case is that the capital letters resemble the humps of a camel. Snake case. Snake case is a naming convention where words are separated by underscores. This naming convention is commonly used in Python for naming variables, functions, and file names. Snake case is similar to kebab case, but instead of using hyphens to separate words, underscores are used. Kebab case. Kebab case, also known as dash case, is another popular naming convention used in programming. As the name suggests, kebab case separates words with a dash and the word looks like a kebab. In conclusion, choosing the right naming convention is important for writing readable and maintainable code. Each naming convention has its own advantage and disadvantage, and the choice ultimately depends on specific project needs and requirements of the project. It's always a good idea to follow established conventions for the language or framework being used, as this can help with consistency and make code more readable, easily understood by other developers. Additionally, choosing clear and descriptive names for variable functions and classes can make the code more easier to reason about and reduce likelihood of bugs. Remember, writing code is not just about solving a problem or completing a task. Communicating your intentions and thought process to others who may read or your work on the code in the future. So take the time to choose meaningful names and follow a consistent naming convention. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, follow all my socials, links in the description. Meet you in the next one.